Okay, so you want to own a casino. I completely understand the fantasy. You walk onto the main gaming floor of a mega resort. The crystal chandeliers are blinding. The slot machines are constantly singing their hypnotic electronic melodies. People are screaming in absolute joy at the craps table, and you watch millions of dollars changing hands. Every single hour, you imagine yourself as the ultimate untouchable mastermind behind the curtain. You are the house, the legendary mythical entity that always wins. It looks like a completely legal license to print infinite amounts of money. You think you are entering the entertainment business, right? Wrong. Let me shatter that glamorous neon illusion right now, because owning a casino is not a hospitality business. It is not an entertainment business. It is an extreme, mathematically ruthless, highly taxed, and brutally regulated probability factory. And it is cleverly disguised as a luxury resort. Most people look at a casino and see a massive, endless party designed for their pleasure. But you, the actual owner, see something completely different. You see a giant, grinding, unfeeling industrial machine designed to harvest mathematical variance. Let's look at the physical architecture of your building. Have you ever noticed there are no clocks on the walls? Have you ever noticed there are no windows on the main gaming floor? The carpets have aggressively complex, almost dizzying geometric patterns to keep people looking up at the machines. Everything in this building is engineered with extreme psychological precision. But the psychology is just the wrapping paper. The actual product you are selling is cold, hard mathematics. You are not really selling expensive drinks. You are not really selling five-star hotel rooms. You are selling the temporary, highly addictive illusion of luck. And the mechanism of that illusion is a concept called the house edge. Every single game on your floor, from the spinning roulette wheel to the deck of cards in blackjack, has a mathematically guaranteed profit margin built directly into the rules. In blackjack, it might be 1%. In slot machines, it might be 10%. It is an invisible tax on every single wager. The industry calls the total amount of money wagered the handle, and the amount of money the casino actually keeps is called the hold. You think you are just sitting back and collecting that hold, but the moment you step into this arena, the moment you become the house, you realize that your famous, mathematically guaranteed edge is constantly being eaten alive. It is being aggressively devoured by some of the most insanely expensive, relentless operational costs on the face of the planet. Because keeping the illusion of luck alive takes a terrifying amount of capital. Welcome to the true nightmare of casino economics. The overhead meat grinder. You think building a standard luxury hotel is expensive. A beautiful high-end five-star hotel in a major city might cost you $100 million to build. A modern mega casino will easily cost you $2 to $4 billion. And that is just to get the front doors open on opening night. Because you are not just building a commercial building. You are building an autonomous, high-security, heavy industrial city. A city that never, ever sleeps. You have to employ thousands of highly trained union dealers, armies of pit bosses, hundreds of armed security guards, and teams of technical engineers just to keep the slot machines breathing. The electricity bill alone for a mega resort can exceed $1 million a month. But here is the devastating, counterintuitive catch of the casino business. To keep people gambling inside your specific walls, you have to aggressively give away your actual physical products for absolutely free. Free premium alcohol, free gourmet steakhouse meals, free luxury penthouses, free flights on private jets. This is the notorious and incredibly expensive comp system. You are running a massive billion-dollar hospitality operation, and you are giving a huge percentage of it away just to bribe people to stay on your carpet. To manage this, you run massive, terrifyingly complex server farms in your basement. Every time a player swipes their loyalty card, you are tracking their exact coin-in, their theoretical loss, and their favorite brand of whiskey. You are spending tens of millions of dollars every single month just on customer retention. And then there is your ultimate silent partner, the government. You see, casinos do not pay standard friendly corporate taxes. They pay a specialized hyper-aggressive tax on gross gaming revenue before you pay your thousands of staff members, before you pay your massive, crushing electric bill. The state government takes a huge, non-negotiable cut of every single dollar lost on your floor. In some global regions, that gaming tax rate can be nearly 40%. You are taking all of the financial risk. You built the massive, multi-billion-dollar facility with your own debt, but the government is quietly taking half of your profit right off the top, and the regulations are merciless. If a single slot machine algorithm breaks, if your eye in the sky, surveillance cameras go blind for even 10 seconds, the Gaming Commission will literally march in and legally shut down your entire floor. You are trapped in an endless cycle of extreme compliance, massive payrolls, and suffocating daily expenses. But wait. Before we go any deeper into this neon-lit digital war zone, do not worry. By the end of this video, you are going to find out exactly whether this massive billion-dollar machine is the ultimate profit engine or a devastating financial trap, complete with a final mathematically calculated percentage. So stay with me. Let's talk about the single biggest, most dangerous myth in the entire gaming industry, the comforting idea that the house always wins. Yes, it is true. Over a sample size of 1 million hands of blackjack, the math is absolutely guaranteed. The statistics will always curve toward the house edge. But you, the casino owner, do not live in the theoretical long term. You live month to month. You have to make your quarterly earnings reports for Wall Street. And to make those massive revenue targets, you cannot rely on tourists playing penny slots. You are constantly hunting for the whales, the absolute top-tier high rollers, the international billionaires who wire $10 million to your casino cage just to play baccarat for the weekend. You think these people automatically make you rich? Think again. They bring terrifying, business-destroying volatility. When a whale sits down at your exclusive VIP table, you are essentially playing a massive, high-stakes coin flip with your own company's money. If they lose their millions, you make your entire quarterly earnings in a single glorious weekend. But if they get incredibly lucky, if they go on a historic, statistically improbable, chaotic winning streak, they can legally walk out of your doors with $20 or $30 million of your cash. A single lucky baccarat player can literally plunge your entire multi-billion-dollar corporation into the red for the entire month. You are the house. But you are also acting as an unregulated central bank, and sometimes the bank gets legally robbed by mathematical variance. To survive this extreme volatility, you are forced by regulators to keep hundreds of millions of dollars in liquid cash, just sitting in a heavy steel vault in your basement. It is dead capital. It is doing absolutely nothing. It is earning zero interest. It is just sitting there, just in case you happen to have a statistically terrible weekend against an international billionaire. And if that billionaire plays on a credit line, if they sign a marker and then fly back to a country with no gambling debt laws, you might spend the next 5 years paying lawyers millions of dollars just to chase a ghost. So, with the insane multi-billion-dollar capital construction costs, the crushing, unavoidable, sky-high government taxes, the massive army of union employees you have to pay every week, and the terrifying financial volatility of international high rollers, why do massive private equity firms and ruthless Wall Street hedge funds keep buying casinos? Why does the smart money keep flowing into this brutal industry? Because of the ultimate economic moat in the history of capitalism, the gaming license. You cannot just wake up one morning, buy a piece of commercial land, and build a casino. The government strictly and aggressively limits exactly how many casino licenses exist in a given region. Sometimes, they issue them once and never issue a new one ever again. If you actually manage to secure a license and build a fully operational casino resort today, you hold an artificial, government-backed, legally enforced monopoly. You have an invisible legal barrier that stops almost anyone else from competing with you. And recently, the smartest operators have found an even better trick. They separate the real estate from the operations. They sell the massive physical building to a real estate investment trust, a REIT, and then they just rent the building back. They offload all the heavy real estate debt and just focus on operating the math factory. They hold the keys to human psychology. So, is owning a massive casino a profit or a trap? Let's look at the cold, hard, unfeeling math. If you are underfunded, if you do not understand the math, a single bad month of VIP variance combined with your massive operational overhead will bankrupt you instantly. But if you survive the brutal licensing war, and you have the massive cash reserves to weather the statistical storms, you are sitting on a mathematical certainty. Here is the final verdict: 70% profit, 30% trap. It is a devastating trap for those who think it is an easy, glamorous, simple hospitality business. The extreme gaming taxes, the bleeding comp system, and the regulatory chokehold will bleed an amateur operator completely dry. But it leans heavily toward profit, because once the massive doors are finally open and the math starts grinding, the immutable laws of probability are legally enforced to work entirely in your favor. You don't just own a building with hotel rooms. You own an invisible tax on human nature and human hope. And that is where the real generational wealth is hidden. Now, it's your turn. Looking at the brutal taxation, the massive operating costs, and the undeniable terrifying power of the house edge. What is your ratio? Is this the greatest cash-flowing monopoly on earth or a high-risk, volatile money pit? Drop your profit or trap percentage in the comments below. And let's see who really understands the hidden economics of the house.